AM 1380 WLRM, Blues, Southern Soul, and more. This Talk to Me. I am Greg Peters, and on the phone lines I have with me the entertainment news lady herself, and she is summer fun. It is Kia Robinson. How you doing?
Yes, Greg, I am having a summer full of fun. It is a great summer so far. So, yes, I'm back, just fresh out of New Orleans, back to Memphis, and, back to life. Was it Soul to Soul?
Back to life, back to reality, back to... Yeah, go on, get it, girl.
Yeah. However do you want it? Yes. So, yes, it's real life now, and a lot is going on. Let's talk about Essence a little bit. So, I went to Essence. Okay, this is pathetic. I went to Essence. I did not go to a concert, which is not pathetic. That's normal for me.
Okay, yeah, that's normal for you.
It's normal for me. We thought about going to Janet, but I'd seen Janet when she was here. Not that meant I didn't want to see. I did want to see her again, but the ticket prices were outrageous. They started at like $140 or $50, and then that was way in the nosebleeds, and then they went up to like a couple $1,000. And I love Janet, but I don't love her that much. Hell, I just saw her. And, Dougie Fresh and a whole bunch of other good people were there that night. And, no, I didn't go see Janet. Dougie was everywhere. And I never went to where he was when he was there. So,
okay.
I'm still looking for him.
You keeping hope alive.
I did talk to some people, the London boys who have had Dougie host their party before, and they said he's available. His manager, we could get you in touch with his manager to book him. I was like, book him? I ain't got no money for that.
I know that's right.
Yeah, they like Dougie don't do nothing for free. But, so I didn't even get a chance to ask him. It was so crazy because every day Corey tries to wake up and get me out and start early and go late and finish late and go later. I wasn't going to do it. I told him this time, you're not going to do this to me. You're not going to tell me, look me in the eye. He don't mind, getting up at 6:45 and wanting to go to breakfast, 6:45 a.m., folks, and ready to go to breakfast, and then he's ready to go here, and then he's ready to go there. I said, nope, not doing it. We never went to breakfast together the whole time. He wandered off and found his own breakfast. I got room service and was done eating by the time he came back every time. And so, yes, I was determined that I was going to rest. He was not going to get me out anywhere.
We're kind of alike because I visited Corpus Christi, Texas. And, and I had a king suite for like 3 days. So anyway.
Wait, go back. Tell me, why did you go to Corpus Christi?
Corpus Christi was my church members' family reunion. They had some family members that lived in Corpus Christi, and they rented this big tour bus to go up there. Very luxurious tour bus. Oh, yeah, I had a great time.
Those tour buses like that are real luxurious. Now, you don't mind when you're in those.
Yeah.
Did they have TV?
Yeah, they had the DVD, but here's the thing that they had. I said, I need to take my portable charger with me so I can charge my phone up and have it with me. Let me tell you something. I didn't even need that thing. They had plugs right in a real plug right, and every seat was a plug where you could charge your phone up. I mean, this was first class all the way, man. I mean, it was
those buses you don't mind. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're plugged.
Yeah,
and
plug.
You can lay back and everything. So let me get this straight. You went to a church member's family reunion. This church member, somebody you've been seeing, Greg Peters, is there? We talked.
Yeah. I've been seeing it for some years now. Yeah. Mm.
Oh, yeah. Wait, but you calling her a church member, not like my girlfriend.
What are you, an investigative reporter or something? You know what I'm saying?
I am actually.
What are you?
Thank you. I am, Greg Peters. Let's discuss it. Okay, Greg, who called? Who is seeing?
Well, I mean, her family.
And refers to her as my church member.
Her family is my church members. Her family is my. I'm not dating her family. Her family is my church member. So it's not like I'm dating her whole family. They're so all of them are my church members.
Okay, so in other words, you went with your girl to her family reunion.
Exactly. But her brothers and her sisters are my church members, okay? So, yeah.
That's where church members come in. Okay.
Yeah, that's where they come in at. Now, here's the thing with that. You said you didn't want to feel like getting up for breakfast and all that type of stuff, right? Okay, so cool. You know, I did the same thing. I of course, because the hotel had continental breakfast. I got it the first morning, but guess what? The other 2 mornings, man, I was in that bed, laid out. I don't care about no sausages and biscuits. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care
it.
where I'm going. Let me rest. I hate a vacation, quote unquote. Essence isn't really vacation, it's experience. But I hate a vacation that is just go, 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 go.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, what's the point? I do that at home. I would really love not to leave before 10 a.m., and I didn't leave. Matter of fact, I
don't blame
leave
you.
Before noon. I didn't leave before noon because everything is going to be there all day, all night. And guess what? Here's the kicker. There were record crowds due to that girls' trip movie, you know. Women everywhere. I thought great.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. Yeah, I saw your Facebook pictures.
Did you hear about the women? The women outnumber the men like 300 or 400 to 1.
Oh, wow.
I kid you not. You would have been a king.
Wow. I should have went to New
other
Orleans.
Princes.
Should have canceled the trip.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
You'd have to say, church member, I'll catch up with you later. Church member and old girl, I'll catch up with you later. Yes, women. Everybody had their little group of women in their little T-shirts, and all the women were wearing crowns, not tiaras, full-out crowns. And I asked her, why are these women wearing crowns? I said, I think it's because you men, men try to say, oh, my queen, trying to make us all feel like queens. I think that's what they're doing.
You're my queen. You're my black queen. You're my Nubian
you're my
queen.
Black queen. I remember Corey telling me that once. I thought it was so corny when we first started talking.
You're my Nubian queen.
Yes, what are you doing, my Nubian? I'm like, that is so freaking corny. Luckily, he doesn't.
I mean, what is this, Coming to America or something? You know what I mean?
Yes, all of that, Coming to America.
Yeah.
But it was packed. The women were in full effect. The weather was like it always is. It rains. It doesn't rain. It's hot. It's muggy. But then there were times where it wasn't even hot for the first time ever.
Okay.
It was probably like 80 degrees. It wasn't horrible. And I don't know. It was just overall, it was just a great time. But let me tell you about Corey Omega Supreme. Jared, at one point, he would start the festivities early. He don't mind partaking in a few drinks, a lot of drinks early on, and kept drinking, and people would buy him a beer, and then people would buy him a this. And then he took, I like shots. He took 2 tequila shots with me. And meanwhile, there's a drink called Liquid Massage that he created. So by like 2 p.m., he's drunk. Let's just put it that way. And he just keeps drinking. Well, at one point, we were in a restaurant. There was a bunch of us, and he walked home. Well, he didn't tell me he was walking back to the hotel. He just said, I'll be right back. Who says that? I'll be right back, and then starts walking back to the hotel. I guess he wanted to have his, I don't know, throw up or embarrassing moment alone. We spend an hour looking for him because he never said where he was going. He didn't answer the phone.
Okay.
I get back to the hotel, and then he's not in there. I call him. I hear the phone ring from the bathroom. I'm like, this fool done left his phone in the bathroom to go do something. Where is he? He is in the bathtub, passed out, fully dressed. I said, oh.
Yeah, and you put that picture on Facebook, too.
I sure did.
I said, Corey got lit up in that joint.
Yes. He's going to be in the bathroom. I couldn't even wake him up, and then he said I was being mean. You know how you get when you disgusted with somebody? Get your ass up. Yeah, when you disgusted because you took it straight so much. Yeah, and he did it again the next day. The next day he didn't end up in the bathtub, but he did start drinking. But he was more hydrated. He just was. I told him he was like a little wild animal that I let the cage up, and he just was running free. He was so excited to be there amongst our friends.
Now I want to talk about the drinks. I want to talk about the drinks in New Orleans as opposed to the ones in Memphis, because there were some other Facebook friends who went to the Essence Festival. And one of my Facebook friends, a lady, she said, hey, look, when they make the drinks up here, they make the drinks. I'm a Hennessy lover. I like all different kinds of cognac. So they filled her cup up full of Hennessy. She couldn't even taste the chaser. And I said, well, tell you what, in Memphis, and of course she agreed with me, in Memphis, they'll give you just a little pin drop of Hennessy and fill your cup up with chaser and say, that'll be $10, please,
Put it in a little dropper thing.
Yeah, like those little bitty, like eye drop. Yeah, like an eye drop, and charge you $10 for it.
And then charge you $10. Well, you know, at some places, like when I was like at Razoo's, when I was drinking the shot, I should have never been able to drink 3 shots of tequila. I'm doing my fingers air quotes tequila because it tasted like tequila, but it didn't really do anything. So I don't believe some of those shots were real. But when we were at that party, that 80s party, and they were serving Hurricane, now those things were strong. I didn't taste anything but the liquor.
Oh.
And I couldn't even drink it.
Wow.
Like a whole 12-ounce cup of liquor to where, I couldn't drink it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see us with our Run DMC outfits on?
Oh, man, y'all was fresh. Y'all was funky, fresh, dressed to impress. Yeah, I like that. I would like to see I would like to see a more bigger blow-up picture instead of just a little edit version that you did.
Okay, I have to show you the whole thing.
Yeah, because y'all really look good.
And everything, and so it was a good time to be had. And today is a really exciting day. Good news. Did you hear about those boys were rescued in Thailand out of that cave?
Yes, the soccer team, right?
The soccer team, and I don't think I understood before today the gravity of the situation. I knew that it was dire, and I knew it was days, and I knew we were counting. I didn't know how scary, I think.
And I saw the video of the rescuers going through those little... I mean, you got to be a skinny person because I couldn't have got in there. I mean, I would have got stuck. They would have had to come rescue me.
They also said they were razor-sharp rocks.
Right.
How did they get down there then? What were they doing? I mean... They got down there the first time, didn't they? What happened?
Right.
I'm not positive what happened.
There is a news video on Facebook how they were, how they just, it's, kind of like a snake. You just got to kind of slither through it, so to speak, Yeah.
Well, how did they slither through it the first time to get down there? What the heck? How did they get down there in it?
Well, they had these long nets, these long ladders.
No. Like originally, for them to get down, like why were they even in there in the first place?
I have no idea how they got caught up in there.
Corey said something about them like hiking or something, but how do you hike through something like you said where it's so skinny and it just didn't seem like a good place to be hiking?
Not unless they had an avalanche or some kind of maybe the earth shook or something and they got caught. That's the only way I can see they get caught in such in such hard terrain like that. It flooded
really quickly. That's what the problem was. But why were you down there in a cave? It just seems like the oddest thing.
I have no idea.
It's dark in caves. I don't either. It's just the craziest thing.
And then they had like the flashlight hats, like the coal miners use, with the flashlight hats, hard hats, But
the boys didn't have the flashlight hats when they went in there.
No, they didn't. So I don't know. But they got them out.
I don't know. Yeah, they got them out, thank God. And everybody's at the hospital and they're wearing sunglasses because they've been underground for 18 days.
Man, I'm telling you. I don't know if I could have survived that.
I haven't seen water this last week because, they sent down that doctor and a few divers. But, oh my God, that's crazy. I was going crazy wearing the same clothes and stinking.
I could. And you know what? And we're just so happy and grateful, that, that God, put it on these guys' heart to save these kids because, 18 days down there, I couldn't have survived. Kia, I would be, no, I'd be gone. I'm telling you, 18 days without eating? Come on, I'd be out of there. I'd be out of here.
If they all survived, we would survive. We would survive.
No, I can't go 24 hours without eating, so, come on now. I'm just telling you the truth.
We would have gave you a proper home going then.
That's right. Put a bucket of chicken in my casket. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Right. Bury me inside of Krispy Kreme. We get it.
There you go.
We would have given you a proper home going. That is too funny. But everything is good. We always love those little stories. Like, remember Jessica
and you know what? And it lets us know that people, regardless of our world and how crazy our world and the times are and the stuff that me and you we talk about from time to time, there's still people out here that still have a heart, and that what makes it special to talk about.
It's an international effort. I like it when the whole world comes together to figure something out.
Yeah,
and they got those kids and that coach out. So that's a good day. That's one thing that made it a good day. It's just been good times.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about who it's not good times for.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna not know what to do with this one. Okay, Russell Simmons once again. I think this is number 13 or 14.
Oh boy.
Yeah, here we go. He's being accused by, her name is Alexia Norton-Jones. She's a pretty big deal.
Alexia Norton-Jones. All these women have all these extravagant names.
Isn't that a nice name? Alexia Norton-Jones.
Yeah.
Her name ain't just, Sheikah Washington. She's Alexia Norton-Jones. Her grandfather was a big deal. He was a publisher, somebody Norton. And her dad was a big deal. He was the personal attorney for Martin Luther King.
Oh, wow.
And so, she comes from good pedigree. Now, get this. Back in November 1990, she was a 31-year-old aspiring model, so she ain't no spring chicken now, so she was 31 back then. Okay, so she went out with Russell Simmons. They went out on a date. Then he wanted to show her his new, this is when he was first coming up, I guess, being rich, his new apartment. So he gets her in the apartment, according to her, pins her against the wall, and she said no several times. And she said he was fat back then. This is not when he was skinny and in
shape.
He
was what?
Fat.
He was fat back then. That's wrong.
He was fat. This is what she said.
That is so wrong.
She said it felt like a wet walrus was all over her.
Oh, my
and he threw her up
goodness.
against there, and with just a few pumps, it was all over. And, so he raped her.
Oh, boy.
She got raped by a fat walrus.
Oh,
yes,
boy.
I know.
I'm
so
offended.
Keep in mind. Yeah. And all walruses around the world are offended, too, to be compared to Russell.
And Harvey Weinstein, too, is as well. Okay, go ahead.
And Harvey Weinstein. But this is 28 years ago. So guess what? She just filed charges. And the statute of limitations is over, of course, for that because it's been 28 years. And she is not seeking any monetary value. So I know what you're going to ask. Well, why is she telling? She is telling because Russell has been denying that he's ever done anything.
Okay.
According to Russell, he's, just God, pillar of the earth and salt of the earth or whatever it's called. And she said that it's not true. She just wants to join these women and join the name and put her name in there. Now, here's the kicker where it gets a little weird.
Okay.
Okay. Well, so you got raped, and it happened. We know that happens a lot. They get raped. They don't say anything. The end. Okay. But Russell is saying, but after the time when she said she got raped, because it was very specific, she said November 1990, he said they've been out more than a dozen times after that. She never mentioned it. They had a relationship over several months.
Mm-hmm.
He's taken multiple lie detector tests over ever raping any woman. He's always passed them. He said they've been friends on the phone. He's cherished their friendship. They talk on the phone. They've attended events together. All of this happened. His driver at the time said they've been on 10 to 12 dates, and he was like, so what's up? That does make it a little weird. According to him, they had a relationship after that, but you claim you got raped. Well, according to her, real he say, she say, she never went on any dates with him. And she said that the only person that she ever told this to was her therapist. Her therapist has brought up the records from way back then and has confirmed that she did tell her this way back then. And this was the kicker. She said this is the part that made her so upset. And somebody else said this about, who else was that going to, Bill Cosby. This is what she said. She said she went to his apartment, Russell's apartment, on her own free will, planning to have sex with him. However, this is the part that messed her up. He took it. She didn't even get an opportunity. He didn't even, ask her or woo her. He threw her up, he threw her up against the wall. He snatched off her dress, and he attacked her. She said it was an attack. And she was willing to have sex, and that's what upset her the most. He could have just got it.
Yeah.
And
that's something?
And she's like number 13 or 14. And here's the thing, Russell is not just accused of stealing on booties and stuff. Russell's accused of outright rape by lots of women. Lots of women whose stories are confirmed by other people saying, that she went and told that night and this and that. And I don't know, I'm not saying this is true. I'm quick to join the women's bandwagon. However, we remember when this whole thing first came out, Russell, remember in Color Purple how the man packed up his piano and said, okay, bye.
Yeah,
that's
time to
go.
Remember? Time to go.
Gotta go. He packed up so quick, Greg, didn't he? He didn't fight it. He didn't stay.
No.
He talking about he taking lie detector tests. That man packed his piano up and withdrew from being the president and CEO of whatever, Def Jam or whatever he's still the president and CEO of. the next day. So is that how you act if you believe you're innocent? I don't know about this. It don't look good for Russell Simmons. And you know right now, I think he's out of the country. He's at some...
I would be too. Better go ahead.
Right. Anybody, yeah, that's the smart thing. He's mysteriously in a country with no extradition laws where they can't ship him back at a yoga retreat, getting his mind right, claiming he didn't do it from this country. And I don't know.
Well, I think it's good for him to go, on a yoga retreat. Like Tina Turner,
You're right. And so he'll never, because when she did that, she got strength. Every time she rang that little bell, she got stronger.
There you go. I'm telling you, man. Oh, wow.
So, I don't know, Russell, if he ever chooses to come back and, watch his daughter graduate high school or anything, he's got to perhaps get these charges taken care of. But a lot of them are from the 90s, so they all seem to be the early 90s.
Statute of limitations is kind of late for that.
It is up, but it seems like he was a motor scooter in those early 90s.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think men with money and power, back in that time, if they could get it and do it any kind of way, they could do it.
But it's like he had a window when he was a predator. You know what I'm saying? It was like he had the money and the power, but then after a while, he became a family man. And there haven't been accusations of him after after Kamora. I don't think they were all like at this certain time.
Yeah.
I don't know. And last but not least, this is a subject. This is a story that'll all make us. Some people make laugh, some people make cry. It depends on how you feel about doggy style sexual position. So, the South African Minister of Health, he has banned the doggy style position in South Africa. Greg, how do you feel about that?
Oh, he has banned the doggy style position. This health minister in Africa, you say? Yep,
the Minister of Health is kind of like our Surgeon General. He's banned it. No more doggy style. No more doggy style, people. He claims it's the major cause of cancer and stroke.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm sure that it causes, strokes because you're stroking. You know what I'm saying?
Stroking? That was a good one.
I'm sure it does. I be stroking. That's what I be doing. I be stroking.
Yeah, stroking. Yes, besides just regular old stroking, it's causing all kind of problems. So, according to this South African Minister of Health, he has done years personally of arduous research. I think that's hilarious. So he has been doing plenty of doggy style to find out that high pumping of blood during sex when one is standing or kneeling overloads the veins, which ultimately cause strokes and cancer. But this is what he recommends. He recommends maybe doing doggy style. This is what he said, really, on Christmas and Valentine's Day, just special occasions.
Okay.
But not all the time, because it is a hazard to your health.
I got you. Just doggy style on Christmas and Valentine's Day, and the other times, just kind of, I guess, keep it.
Take it easy.
Yeah, kind of, religious style missionary sex, I guess you call it.
Missionary, or whatever else. But doggy, nothing says Merry Christmas like doggy style.
Yeah, nothing says Happy Valentine's Day like doggy style. She is Kia Robinson on Facebook, and she is the Kia Robinson on Instagram. Check out our shows on YouTube. It is Kia Robinson, the Playground on YouTube. Hey, and I'm sure this show will definitely make the cut, and definitely it will be a doggy style tradition, of course. Thank you so much, Kia.
Thanks, Greg.
All right. We'll be right back on Talk to Me with Greg Peters on AM 1380 WLRN Blues, Southern Soul, and more doggy style. More